guys, and welcome back to Change Wired podcast. On this podcast, your host, Angela Sharina, and together we are talking about discovering, learning, implementing all the best known systems for change, self-change, change of others, change of the world, of our businesses, change wired. We humans are actually designed to be the most adaptable species. But somehow, because also we are designed to be the most effective species and our brain habituates a lot of things, we sometimes can become worse than ants and monkeys at changing our behavior to become better adaptable to our environment, especially when change is flying at us at mind-boggling speeds, as sometimes it feels it does now. Change. Today we are talking about let's start with the quote that I wanted to be inspired by for this podcast. We don't rise to the level of our goals, we fall to the level of our systems. This quote goes back to Stoics. It's also been used by some of the best thinkers on habits and goal achieving, like James Clear. It's been used by many people, and it speaks to the simple fact that goals will not guarantee success. In fact, they are worse than systems, and we're going to define systems and goals in just a moment, at helping you to achieve especially challenging outcomes and especially challenging goals. So goals are the outcome. It's what we want to get, right? We want to have fit body. We want to have great business. We want to have amazing relationship. We want to have amazing life. So those are goals, and we quantify them to have better system of tracking progress towards certain outcomes and goals. But let's say you have a goal of writing a book. It's an outcome. But what's actually going to lead you there is not having the goal, but having systems in place to do the habits, to do the actions, to take the actions, to have the ability or the opportunity to reach those goals. So goals, the desired outcomes or destination, example, writing a book, launching a business, getting fit. Systems, the daily routines, processes, and habits that lead to those outcomes. Example, writing 500 words daily, dedicating 1 hour to sales outreach, exercising 30 minutes a day, every day. There have been quite a few systems created for helping you to have a better system to make sure that you do desired actions. But guys, the main theme of today's podcast, something I want to reflect you on, is that very often you fail your goals. All of us fail our goals, our aspirations to achieve our outcomes, because we think then just having a goal and even having a sort of a plan in mind how we're going to get there is all that's needed to achieve that goal. But what I find with myself and with my clients, unless it's on your calendar, it's not going to happen. What do I mean here? Well, you can have a goal to become fitter and, run a certain amount of miles or have certain body fat percentage or certain muscle groups developed. But thinking about that goal or having a better plan or strategizing more will give you less results than simply putting 30 minutes in your calendar for a daily workout. In fact, that's how I get to look almost like a fitness model. And everyone asks me, you must be working out a lot. No, not really. I've just been going for a 30-minute workout every day for the past more than 20 years. Another example. You might want to start eating healthier so you have more energy every day, and down the road you can be agile, you can think faster because you're going to have great brain health. You can be running with your kids, grandkids, or your partner on different adventures because nutrition is what you build of. But you can be thinking and learning all you want about healthy eating, different diets and protocols. But unless you you put together a plan in place, specifically when are you gonna go healthy grocery shopping, how are you gonna cook your food, when you're gonna get all these healthy foods that you're thinking about getting. So get down to details, my routine for healthy eating is very simple. Every Saturday, I go shopping. I dedicate 1 hour when I order food. Sometimes I order from fish or meat dealers. Then I go to grocery store if I go, or I order food. So I dedicate 1 day a week to specifically plan out how I'm going to be getting all these foods that going to be on my plate throughout the week. Then I buy them, and then on my calendar, I make sure that there is time to cook and eat my food. Because if it's not there, all the stuff that I can get busy with is just gonna get right into my schedule and have me leave me with no time for cooking and eating that food. And also how your food is important for your gut health and your stress levels, etc. So I don't want to be sitting in front of my computer, rushing through email while eating. The same thing with my clients. A lot of times, my busy executive and business owners clients would come to me and talk to the fact that, well, I'm going through the cycles of burning myself out, and I don't want to be going through the cycles. And I would often ask them in some way, what's your anti-burnout system? Do you plan your sleep? One of the most important tools to prevent burnout. Do you plan 8 hours of solid sleep on the same schedule in your calendar? Do you plan in breaks? Time off that you personally need to recharge your batteries? Do you plan time in nature and outside? So nature is one of the most profound tools to lower your stress levels. It's even prescribed in countries like New Zealand and Japan, where they are more open to different approaches than, what used in traditional medicine, right? So do you plan that on your schedule? Do you have anti-burnout system? I would have this dichotomy when my clients would say, yeah, I don't want to burn out. And I understand that I need to sleep more, but I get busy. I'm like, well, let's put your sleep in your calendar and your time off. And you're not allowed to schedule anything in on that. And unless it's live or die emergency for you or your loved ones, you're not going to change that. How about that? And then you start hearing all the excuses. I'm like, well, that's why you go through cycles of burning out. And it's not for me to say what is right for you or wrong for you to do, but it is my place, because you hired me as a coach, to point out, to make you aware of this fact that you're consciously choosing your cycles of burning out, because you're consciously choosing of not prioritizing your sleep, not putting it on your calendar. So you actually have the opportunity to do the thing that prevents burnout. Let's talk more about some of the popular systems for getting things done, for achieving the desired outcome. Getting Things Done by David Allen, you can look it up, has been around for a couple of decades. It's all about, what it says, getting things done. And David Allen is all about breaking down complex task, like writing a book, finishing this change management project, or remodeling your apartment, whatever that is. He always says, if a task has many subsequent steps, then each step is a task. So you need to break down a complex project into tasks, which is just one action, and then put that into your calendar with the time required, usually with the Slack, because nothing usually goes according to our plan. And that's how you make sure that everything you need to get done actually gets done. Because if you put it on your calendar and you block it out, you'll be aware that at this time in my day, on these days, I'm going to be taking care of this specific task. Then we have also from James Clear, mentioned above, the author of Atomic Habits, very popular book if you haven't picked it up, on forming habits, breaking habits, and in general also getting things done, right? He also has this 2-minute rule. If something takes 2 minutes, that just do it instead of thinking about it. Oh, I should reach out to this person. Oh, I should reach out to this person. If it's a 2-minute thing, sending a message, do it. Time blocking, also very popular by Cal Newport, the author of Deep Work. Basically, putting on your calendar blocks of time dedicated to specific projects. Like for me, for example, outreaching to my potential clients. I'm not thinking about, I need to do more outreach. No, it's my business habit that I decided to develop, and I put it on my calendar. And so when, let's say today it's 2 p.m., I'm going to be doing exactly that. It's in my calendar to start reaching out to potential clients. But all of these systems talk to the same fact that it has to be on your calendar. Let's take another very personal example for me, which a lot of people relate to. If you want to study more, learn more, because you want to improve in your profession, in your area of expertise, and you're like, yeah, I gotta learn more, I gotta read more on this, I gotta study more. But if study time isn't in your calendar, you're not going to do it. People always say, I want to read more books. Well, show me reading time on your calendar. What's your system for reading? For me, I have 2 hours a day, at the very least 90 minutes, when I block things out. I close my laptop, I close my work, and I dedicate to reading and learning. Sometimes it's learning about how to do better offers and improve my business in many other ways. Sometimes it's reading a book. But I have this learning time. And so unless there is a priority or emergency, I have a reading, a learning system, or basically time on my calendar. So if you want to read more books, and you can relate to that, you're not going to read more books, unless there is some system which reflects the fact that it's on your calendar. When is your reading time? As simple as it sounds. Very often I would find, especially with ambitious people, but these days it's, to be honest guys, everyone, we people decide, I want to do this and this and this and that, and we're like, there are only 16 hours, 18 hours, whatever that is, hours that you are awake. So you can't just decide to stretch it out limitlessly. You got to prioritize and put things that you're serious about, that are meaningful to you, that are fulfilling for you, on your calendar, and the rest of the stuff you just have to miss out on. The time is not stretchable. Yes, you can have it all, but not at the same freaking time. So, and this is the whole idea of today's podcast. If you're struggling with the outcome, with the goal, if you always find yourself in this space, well, yes, I want to be healthier, I don't want to burn out, I want to have better relationships, I want to read more, I want to exercise more, I need to do more reach outs, I need to learn more about my business, I need to learn more about AI. If it's not on your calendar, if there is no system, guess what? Not gonna happen. The world is gonna get noisier, busier, more flying at the speed of light. And unless you put things on your calendar and you understand why, you prioritize, you create a system for you to keep working consistently to that aspiration, it is not gonna happen. Like, for example, one of the things that I wanna improve at a lot is speaking. And so I've been failing to improve my speaking because I've been failing to put it on my calendar. And so this weekend I have 2 hours when I put on my calendar. I'm like, I'm not sure what exactly I'm going to do, but this is dedicated time to my speaking. And I'm treating it like a meeting, and nothing is going to stand between me and improving my speaking ability. And that's the end of this podcast episode, guys. We don't rise. Nobody rises to the level of our aspirations. We fall to the level of our systems or our training. So what is on your calendar? Analyze that, and that is what your life gonna become in a few weeks, months, and years. Make sure that every aspiration, that everything you say is important, has a place on your calendar. Yes, quality time with your loved ones or your friends, your business improvement, your self-development plan, your reading plan, all of it has to be on your calendar. And yes, for a lot more people these days, even sleep has to be on your calendar, so you don't schedule meetings or whatever it is you can schedule there. So everything has to be on your calendar. There has to be a system, and that's when the results going to become just a side effect. Just like with exercise. I don't really think much about exercise. I just have a system when I go every morning and I exercise. That's it. And the rest kind of follows. That's it, folks. If you learned something useful, if you love this podcast episode and you think somebody in your social circle, somebody you admire, somebody you care about can benefit from this podcast episode, then please do share with them so you could also perhaps work together socially on your aspirations and systems to support those aspirations so you can make more awesome things happen. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Please review, rate, share. That's the only way this podcast can spread to other people's ears and improve the world. Let's together improve the world. So high five virtually. And till next time, your homework is to think of all of the aspirations, all of the I want to do X. And for each of those, sit down and create a system. Put on the calendar your actions that will lead towards you achieving this aspiration. Want to read more books? When is your reading time? Thank you guys for tuning in. Have an awesome day, and we'll talk about change very soon.